turning. We're live.
Boom.
Bam.
See, there's no banner. There's no music intro. Who do we got, Scott? Who do we got?
Well, Bart, I'll let you introduce him. You've known him a lot longer than me. I just met Dan. Dan is since the early days with us. He said, "Hey, you guys need some music," and he created some music for us, and he's done several things for us. Bart, you've tasked him with several tasks, but go ahead and Bart, on your end, why don't you intro him more than that?
All right, you got Dan Pancaldi, the maestro. Yes, is what's going on. So I was doing some military board game stuff, and out of the blue, I think, Danny, you just said, "Hey, you need a little help. I think you did. No, you did it Danny way. You were like, you need some intro music, and I'm like, well, sure, but not my forte. You said, well, luckily, and then boom, I think you hit me with some intro music.
I don't even remember, man.
Yeah, that's what it started. And then I'm like, hey, we got this Scotch show thing going too. And you're like, what?
So,
And
man,
then-
I composed all this music for you, and all I got was this Scotch glass.
Yes. Yeah, you got a glass and the show. Now go ahead and introduce the lovely lady with you. We can see her name, but let's get an introduction.
Well, Chantal is my lovely lady. Let's not misunderstand that, gentlemen. And well, I met Chantal in a psychiatric center.
Now there's an intro.
Yeah, because we both work in psychiatry, right?
There you go. See, there you go.
If you can believe that.
I believe it.
And Chantal is from Nova Scotia, so she's got that Scottish connection, man.
Nice. Very
And
nice.
I don't know if she's got colors. You got colors, Chantal?
No, I don't have any colors. I'm not really from the Scotland side of things. I'm Acadian.
I was gonna ask her to speak Acadian, but she told me, you're gonna shut up and not make me speak Acadian.
That's right.
So this is gonna be a real fun show because I gotta shut up.
No, you're good. Now here's a question. Were you how long have you been into whiskey? Or both of you, how long have you been in? Before the show, right? Before our show.
Well, yeah. Chantal, go first. How long you been in?
Well, for me, it's really only been a few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite? I mean, are you Irish or Scotch or bourbon, or what do you like, Chantal?
Yep, I'm more into the Scotch. I enjoyed mainly the sherried Scotches. Yes.
Great.
And me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I started quite young. I must have been 14, 15. My first Scotch actually, I think, was the Singleton.
Really?
Yeah. And it was a different bottle back then. And I just told Chantal, I go, hey, we got to try the Singleton again because I don't even remember what it tastes like. And then I tried a Lefroy, just a regular Lefroy, 10 years. And I couldn't believe it, man. That was my Scotch. That was it for many years. I got out of Scotch. I think I was, 22 years old.
That's when you got out of Scotch?
That's when I got out of Scotch. And because the prices were just climbing and climbing and climbing, man. It was insane. I used to buy a bottle of, a bottle of Glenmorangie was like $28, man. And that's Canadian. So that's like $2 your money, man.
Wow, yeah.
And my first Scotch back was when Chantal wanted to get into Scotch. I saw a relatively cheap bottle. It was a McClelland.
Yeah.
Now, I bought the McClelland. I'm drinking it, and I just look. I like my alcohol. And Chantal tries it, and she says, "This can't be Scotch. It can't be this bad." And I don't know. We just and then we just got into it, man. And now we're thank God she makes more money than me because
it's gotten
Scotch
now. Yeah, it's gotten expensive.
Yeah, I mean tonight we're drinking a Canadian Gooderham and Worts.
Oh yeah,
4 grain.
4 grain.
Yeah, I got that one over here.
And you know what? I'm pretty impressed because the only kind of whiskey we were drinking Canadian was Crown Royal, and I mean it's a fine whiskey.
The heavy rye stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not a rye guy, man.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I find myself very rarely going to the ryes. I don't mind a good one, but I just very rarely go. I mean, a bourbon or a scotch or something 9 times out of 10 or even more than that takes precedence.
Yeah, but when I saw your bourbon, a lot of your bourbon shows, and you generally went rye, man.
Yeah, I love the high rye mash bill bourbon. So,
So it was you, Bart.
Okay.
oh, definitely me. And then
Okay.
we'll catch some people up too because we're 3 shows into our barrel strength bourbon shootout. Is that what are we calling it?
Yeah. Barrel proof bourbon. Yeah.
So we're deep into that. That's 16 bottles blind, double blind, because Scott has numbered them, and then he just gives me the little sample bottles numbered, and then I go through an alpha, so A through P, and then we mix them all up, and we put 4 of them down, and then we pour them so we don't have the same ones in order, and then we pick as we go.
Okay.
And we've been in unison so far, which has been kind of cool.
Yeah, three brackets in, and 3 we both advanced the same ones. Well, one was I pulled them out in case we got there. The old bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof at 68%.
Yeah, no, we can't get that here.
That's a good one. If you ever come down, you'll get to try it here.
Yeah, I know that one, the 1792. That's the regular one, right?
This is the full proof. Very good. And then bracket 1, Jack Daniels, what we call the double barrel, the single barrel proof.
Seriously?
Yeah.
65.5%.
And that's a good whiskey?
Oh yeah. We picked it blind. We both picked it and high proof. And I was a little stunned actually once we found out that was in the first bracket. Go watch the first bracket show.
It's not Jack Daniels number 7. So many people drink Jack Daniels number 7. They Jack and Cokes when they're 18, 19, 20, and they get hammered, and it continues on for a few years. And then they get older and they hate Jack. And Jack Daniels Barrel Proof is not Jack Daniels number 7. Don't confuse it for it. It's completely different. It's completely good.
I used to say Jack Daniels was a nice morning bourbon. No, but we have that available. And I was just because it was a Jack, I'm like, I'd rather spend my money on something else. I'd rather discover. And I'm going to give it a shot then. But I had to tone down my drinking because my for some reason my blood pressure went up. But it's not due to my drinking, obviously. It's due to me being out of shape.
I got Moose weighing in that I'm not wearing any kind of manga shirt going on. We were actually over at the neighbor's house, so I didn't scare them. I hadn't met them before.
Yeah, there's a guy on your chat. His name is Matthew Parks, and he says, Dan, Italian? Why? Does it show?
Oh, yeah. He'll start breaking into Italian songs soon.
Okay, Chantal, say something. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me to shut up. I'm going to shut up if you're going to tell me to shut up. I know when to shut up. My dad taught me properly. When I have to shut up, I shut up.
My dad just had the belt.
Yeah.
He'd break the belt out.
I hate to say it, but it should come back, the belt.
Yeah, a few people need the belt. I got threatened with the buckle when I got real crazy. Or I'd start blocking the belt. And he'd be like, you block that strap one more time, you're going to get the buckle. I'd be like, man.
That had to be daily for you, Bart. That's all I'm saying.
Dad was the pastor. The belt only came out when I really started to challenge him. And then he'd clear it out of those straps like he was drawing a sword. And he'd just bring her up, backhand, and come down. So
did your mom do any discipline to you?
Yeah, Mom was probably primary, but if you really got out of hand and Dad was around, there wasn't a lot. There weren't you didn't get 2 warnings. You got one like it'd be like, hey, and then and if you didn't tune in to the hey, then the next one, yeah. Woo.
So did your mom have that heat-seeking shoe?
Mom was good with this fat brush. And that was when I got in trouble once because she hit me on the butt with the brush and it broke. And I was like, ha! And then what?
Oh, man.
Out came the leather. And I was like, boom! Dang. I was like, come on. He's like, don't break your mother's brush.
So, Bart, what are you drinking?
Well, let's see. I got two. I got right now, I just poured this Isaac Bowman, this port barrel finish. I've been kind of warming up to see if I can get it with no glare.
Yeah, no, we can't get that here, man.
All right. I've been warming up to that lately. It's got a real different, kind of that floral, definitely the wine influence is coming through.
I see it's port barreled.
I see Clark wanted to know on there. Yeah. So they've taken a barrel that had some port wine in it. And then it's almost gone. But the barbecue and fish nets from SMWS is very good. It's got a little Klein leash in it, and it's very nice. So,
man, you guys have all that selection in
that doesn't have Klein leash in it. What are you talking about?
Doesn't it? I thought it had a little bit of Klein leash in it.
It's a single malt.
Nope.
Well, you're sure right. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know what you were thinking, Bart.
That's just Glen Scotia.
Glen Scotia it is. He'll slap me down. Scott's definitely the master on that. I could say it, and he'll be like, idiot.
You was confusing the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society for Compass Box there for a second.
Probably, yeah. I went with Compass Box, which has Klein leash and everything.
So you guys having all that Scotch behind you, is that insured?
Nope.
You know, get that asset, and I just posted a video of my collection today, and a couple of comments have come in about that. 95% of these are opened up behind me and half gone. So, I mean, you can't get those insured anyway. I've maybe got a handful of bottles that would be worth insuring, but it's not even that big a value money wise to worry about. So, yeah, maybe someday.
Yeah, and probably your normal homeowner's insurance would cover those extra Compass Box bottles you've got.
Yeah, maybe.
So Scott, how's that Booney 30?
Delicious.
Give us some taste profiles here. Come on.
Now, so this was for those tuning in. Today is my 50th birthday, Big 50. I had ordered. This is a 30-year Bunnahabhain Marsala cask.
Wow.
Cask strength, which is a little lower. But after 30 years, it's still 47.4%. And this I had to order from the Netherlands from whiskeysite.nl. Great prices on stuff. Check them out if you haven't. But the Marsala cask is really, I was hoping for a little bit more Marsala influence. There's faint hints of it so far anyway. Now this is the second pour from the bottle. Maybe it'll open up a little bit. But just a nice, creamy, buttery cream, salty, unpeated Bunnahabhain profile with a nice little bit of the wine influence coming in. It's very nice.
When do they put it in the Marsala casks? Like how late? How late in the aging?
Most of your finish, if it's a wine cask finish, is a year to 2 years. If they say it's matured, it's more than 3 years or somewhere in that range, if I remember right, something like that. So I think this one was 28 or 29 years old and then went into Marsala for a year or two. So it's just Marsala finish. And I got a bunch of super chats coming in there. Little cowbell for the super chats. Let's start. Eric Waite, $20. Happy birthday, youngster. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. The Linux cat says, happy birthday, Scott. Well, and let's do this.
Yeah.
While I do that, I can highlight him. Eric Waite, happy birthday.
See, he's got the skills.
Linux cat says, happy birthday. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Brian Brennicky, happy birthday. You, me, and Drew Barrymore share a birthday.
Wow.
Very nice. I did not realize that. Zach Andrews says, happy birthday. Eric Waite. Eric W. Is that different, Eric? And Mark Brown, happy birthday. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. A little bit more.
You know, Scott, I'm a percussionist, and that cowbell's a little out of tune.
No, we want more cowbell.
I have to do it because Bart Limp-wrists it. He doesn't quite know how to do it. It's like he's scared of it. He's kind of like,
and it turns out that the barbecue and fish nets is Glen Scotia Distillery.
yeah. And D.H. Phil, little cowbell. Happy birthday, Scott. I don't look a day over 60. It's the gray hair that does it. But like I say, it's still there. I've got it.
Bart, are you younger than Scott?
Just barely. I turned 50 late July. So we're both 1970 babies.
Yep.
He had a birthday party yesterday, and it was funny because it was one of the first times, you know, all his family's there, and I've known his family for a long time. So I'm seeing his mom and his step parents and everybody. I'm looking around like, man, they're starting to look old. And then he's like, we're 50, dude. I'm like, hey.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, I saw his stepdad with a walker. I'm like, what is going on here? I didn't think he was aging at all. So, yeah, it was a little bit of an eye opener.
Yesterday we went to a Scotch tasting at the Shriners.
Carnac Shriner.
Carnac Shriner. Say, you guys have the Shriners over there?
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we went to a tasting, and we had 5 different scotches, but they served them in cognac snifters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all I got, except we had a Canadian one, this Gooderham and Worts, but we had a different one.
The 11 Souls.
The 11 Souls one. Mm. That was fine. And then every other scotch, which was the Johnny Walker Double Black. I have never heard of a Double Black.
Yes.
We had the Macallan 10. We had the Macallan 12, sorry. We had the Red Breast.
Mm-hmm. Which year? 12
the Green Spot. Chacal. And then we had the what did we have?
The Bunnahabhain 12.
The Bunnahabhain 12. But because it was in these the cognac snifters, all I got was the off odors, the rubbers, the acetone.
Really?
I really, and I'm telling you, the glass must have made a hell of a difference because a Bunnahabhain 12 was one of my preferred scotches, and no, I smelt rubber, man.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's like once I was telling this to Bart, and you see I'm doing all the talking, so we're going to be on for 3 hours. But anyways, I bought a Aberlour 18. So for 500 mils here in Canada, Quebec, it cost me $120 Canadian. So that's like $5 you guys. And so I crack it open because I'm an Aberlour fan, right? I like the Abunad very much.
Sure.
And we're smelling it. And Chantal, she's got the nose here. I mean, she's not talking a lot today. I don't know why. Usually she can't shut up. But anyways, we're smelling it. And she says, you smell that, Dan? You smell it? And there was a smell I couldn't put together. And it was vomit.
Ew.
Wow, baby spit?
Baby puke, man.
That's right.
Wow, yeah. See, I don't say puke either. Just baby spit up.
Yeah, well, are we allowed to say puke on Scotch Test Dummies?
You can say whatever you want. You
yes.
can call it whatever you want. I know what you're saying, though. It's that sweet, sour kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I'm going to heave.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
So that was on which one?
The Aberlour 18.
Yeah.
And why am I getting all the off smells? I don't understand. It's like that's what I focus on. As soon as I smell, especially Macallan right away burnt rubber. As soon as I put it up my nose, I got burnt rubber. Is it me? Is it me?
Well, could even be something you ate. Could be the different glass.
I smell it all the time. Every time I have a Macallan, I smell it.
I seem to focus on the off notes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe is it the sulfur?
No.
It could be, is it a sulfur? I mean, that comes through on some of them. Your sherry finishes a sulfur note.
Yeah.
Sulfur, eh? No, it's more acetone, man.
All right. Yeah. With the sherry, sometimes we'll get a sour kind of dunnage kind of smell.
I find the Macallan has that. I tried the Macallan 15. It's got it. One of my buddies came over with a Macallan rare cask, and it was just faint, that rubber, but it was probably one of the best scotches I've ever had.
It was a great, great bottle.
Now, Eric Waite, we call him the sniper. Whoop, it went down. He had a comment that said when he doesn't wash his beard, that's when he gets the faint smells.
Yeah, like Steve A just said it, rubber band smelling. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying Band-Aid.
Yep, I've gotten that before. Ooh.
Bravo.
Robert Primo, the great Dan Pancaldi. Love his work on y'all's videos. Anyway, can we get our hands on some of his full tracks? Keep talking, Dan.
Yeah,
Keep
you
talking.
should.
They want an album.
I'll never shut up.
Are you on iTunes? I mean, where do they find your music?
You should put out.
They contact me and I give it away.
You should put out something, man. I bet you we could get you sold.
Well, actually, I just got a gig with Lock and Load Publishing. They're putting out a lot of digital games. And David, the owner of Lock and Load, said, "Hey, Dan, you want to compose some music?" And I'm sure, obviously. And he said, "Be kind in the price." He didn't know I was going to give it to him. Now I'm going to charge him.
Well, you should. That's perfect.
I was going to say something, but I didn't because of your accent. But I didn't know quite for sure what McCullen was. But DMACC, he doesn't know what McCullen is, and Claire the Third, he's confused too. Must be a knockoff.
Hold on. We don't have an accent. You guys have an accent. And Scott, you got that. You almost got that southern drawl happening, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, are you from Kansas, Dorothy?
Yeah, I'm a small town, rural Kansas. So I hear I've got a little bit of a drawl.
Now, why does Kansas? Like, when I think of Kansas, I think of, like, I don't know, a barn and a couple of cows.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I mean, dialect wise, pretty neutral, really. So I'm not quite sure. No,
are you kidding me, man?
When I moved here from Denver, I could pick up a lot of that kind of southern country, just a hit of that cowboy accent. And I've noticed now when I
say just a hick. What'd you say?
Just a hint.
Oh, a hint. All right.
Now when I go back, some of my buddies will say the same thing. Like I don't think I ever used fixin' until I came here. We're fixing to eat.
Oh,
So,
what about y'all? You guys use y'all?
not so much. That's a little more technical.
Howdy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Howdy.
But yeah, I never used fixin'. I would say, hey, we're getting ready to eat. And then I got here and it's a lot easier to say we're fixing to eat.
We're fixing to eat, eh?
Yeah. And then Scott will just say we're fixing.
He's hardcore, man.
Yeah, he just speeds it up. Fixing.
So
I did get my wife bought me a smoker, a wood pellet smoker for my birthday, so I will be doing some smoking now.
What are you gonna smoke, man?
Great.
Well, I want ribs, I want brisket, I want chicken, some pulled pork, probably do some salmon.
He's a bit of he'll do a little bit of chef. I'll go over to his place. He'll do up these huge steaks.
Now, the reason I was asking about Kansas is, I don't know. I mean, Kansas obviously is what's the population of Kansas?
Ooh, I don't know. Less than a million.
Less than a million, eh?
Kansas.
It's because we got here. We have a liquor commission that's only
641.
2,911,641.
Well, more I thought.
Scott, you were off, but anyways,
yeah.
So we have where we get our liquor. I was going to say something. I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Did you see the look? I saw the look.
He was going to give you a little elbow.
So it's owned by the government, right? So the government is us, the people. But regardless, so we have a huge buying power in Scotch. But you guys seem to have many more varieties than we do, and you guys are peewee compared to us, man. So I don't understand how come you guys get more variety than we do? Is it because it's private?
Yeah, free market.
Yeah, you're able to order an import a lot easier than we are.
Mm-hmm.
And your booze is so cheap, man. Ours is
It depends on what state you're in, but yeah, I mean, generally for the most part, and I think we get some pretty good prices in our area compared to some other parts of the states, even.
really. So you guys are mid-states, is that right?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, that's where all the silos are, is that right?
We got there's all kinds of silos.
Yep.
I ain't talking about grain silos.
Missile silos. They got rid of most of those. They used to have a ton of them.
Yeah, most of those are through Nebraska.
Yep. They used to have a few of them. Now they turned them into like homes and bunker shelters for preppers and stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Hey, a quick shout out to I Whiskey She Wines. They're just celebrating their 1 year anniversary on YouTube.
Wow.
Bobby and Sam.
Yep. We got to meet them down at Austin.
Yep. If you haven't checked out I Whiskey She Wines, give them a look-see.
A look-see.
I'm reading one of the comments, and El Loco Coco says, "But you get free health care, right?"
Yeah.
Well, El Loco Coco, let me clarify things for you.
You don't pay. Well,
we don't pay out of pocket, but
you pay.
A bottle of Old Pulteney costs us like $80.
Yeah.
So that's where our health care goes to.
Yeah. Daily purchases.
And gasoline, us, it's by the liter. So right now we're at $1.20 a liter. Wow. So there are 4 liters per gallon. So
holy moly.
Moly is right, yeah, and that's Canadian. So that costs you $2 American.
Wow.
Yeah.
You need to get like a Tesla. Just
wait till you see the prices of the Teslas here. But El Coco Loco there, yeah, nothing is free, man. Nothing.
Good point.
And plus, if you're having a heart attack, there's a waiting list.
Perfect. Now, I will say, while Dan's here, Dan is huge in the board game world.
Oh, I'm losing a bit of weight, man.
Oh, look at that. Did I pause too long? So Dan is huge, and you were like, come on, man, come on. So anybody on, and he does his little musical interludes there as well. You can check out No Enemies Here. He's got his own show there, which is you're kind of in a cool little niche there. You're basically like a news version of everything that's coming out or everything that's been reviewed. Right?
Yeah, I'm too slow to review a game because I got to read. I don't feel like reading. So I figured I'd be like an anchor man. And it's Stuka Joe, another guy who does great videos, who suggested I should do something.
Yeah.
And I find it easier and more diplomatic not to review.
You're good. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I find in the war game world, we're very diplomatic when it comes to wanting to say what we have to say, because it's such a small community where we don't want to offend anybody. And I mean, I'm not saying we should offend someone. Just stating your opinion is, you might meet the guy a couple of months from now and he's going to say, what, you didn't like my game? And if he's Italian, you're dead.
I guarantee you're going to meet him. Yeah.
And how many Italians in Kansas?
How many what? Italian?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure we have, we've got 2.9 million. I'd say 190,000 Italians.
Come on, you're a cop. You can just look it up on one of your cop things, man.
We do not profile Italians.
Hey, quick cowbell. Jason the Mash and Drum, happy birthday, my bro in Boonahaven.
Woohoo.
Barton Scott from Jason the Mash and Drum. Appreciate that, Jason. And Matthew Parks had a comment for Bart.
Okay.
Thanks for recommending Azul last time we spoke in Austin. The board game friends love it.
There you go. Yeah, Zool's perfect. Great.
Well, hold on.
family.
Scott, Bart told me that you hate board games.
Well, not all of them.
Well, no, I don't. It's not. I don't hate them. I just that's not where my interest lies. Let's just say that.
I can understand that.
And when so what started our channel actually was it was Bart's idea, and he had been doing board game reviews for the Dice Tower, and he's like, hey, we do this on YouTube, and me and you could start a whiskey channel on YouTube. So I'm like, well, okay, yeah, sounds good. Everything we did was board game based. And it was board gamers do this, board gamers do that, board games. I was like, oh my God, dude, you're killing me.
This is what I told him, we've got to get on Patreon. He goes, well, it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Said, well, there's a couple reviewers doing Patreon, and if they like the show, they can come and throw a few bucks.
Yeah, well, this is today's TV, man.
Exactly. And then he was all of a sudden he was like, ooh, out of the blue, somebody was popping in, giving us money on Patreon, and we hadn't even put up any videos yet on there. And he was like, what the hell? I'm like,
well, it took a while though, too. I mean, we had it up, and I think we were even talking about, nothing's going on there. I think we might.
We never put a video there. All we did was put
yeah. Shout out to Matt over at the Whiskey Crusaders, $5. Happy birthday, Scott, and congrats on the awesome whiskey collection video. Thanks, Matt.
Well, about making these videos, I don't know how many people in the comments make videos and all that, but it takes an incredible amount of time and effort to make these videos because, I mean, speaking for myself, I spend like 80% of my day in front of this computer, editing, shooting, reshooting. The telephone rings while you're doing something. You gotta redo it again. Chantal is screaming, "Supper, supper!" And it's like, bloody hell, man! Can you give me a break? So it's a lot of work, man. It really, really, really is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's pleasurable. Scott, just so you know, old Danny boy here is on the Dice Tower. So when I left, he ended up filling in, and he's on Board Game Breakfast, and he does all this cool stuff. And so,
yeah, I was lucky to get that gig. And you know what? I've got 3 minutes. So I called Tom and I said, Tom, I'm doing well. People like me. Can you give me 4 minutes? No.
Yeah, nope. He has no problem saying no.
Yeah, he said nope, nobody, nope. And I remember when you told me that Tom was Tom of the Dice Tower was a very not cut and dry, but very efficient man.
Yes.
Yeah, he's efficient.
He is.
And much to my detriment.
He's also my height. He's 6'6".
Oh man, if I have a picture of me and Tom, I'm hugging Tom, and I think my nose is at his navel.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah, laugh, Scott, laugh. How tall are you, Scott?
5'9", 5'10", somewhere in there.
What's that? Is that like a discrimination? I can't be a cop because I'm 5'4"?
Yeah.
No, we got shorties on the department. Yeah, back in the 80s, they had a percent. We had to have like 5%. It had to be shorties. So
yeah,
because
we would call you our WPD action figure.
I'm short, but I'm solid, man. I mean, you can't kick me down, man.
Right, you're a fire plug.
I'm 5'4", Bart. I can clip you right at the knees, man. You go down, and then it's.
Yeah, you would come in low. I'd never even see what hit me.
But, and we need the short people though too to go into the attics and to go into the crawl spaces under the houses and stuff like that. So
in Vietnam we were very well. How do you say that? We were those tunnel rats, the tunnel rats, man.
All right, now, Scott, I saw a couple questions come in. Somebody wanted to know kind of what you valued your collection. They'd seen your video. I saw you That went out to our Patreon folks just exclusively for about a month.
Yeah.
And then we said that some of the videos we're going to throw up. We're going to put up on the public after they've been exclusive for a while.
Yeah, so that one I did. I shot that about a month ago or a few weeks ago. Anyway, put it up on Patreon and then finally just released it on YouTube today. So, it's hard to tell. The thing is, I mean, this just grows over 6 years, and several comments have come in that 90%, 95% of my bottles are opened. But I mean, that's what we do. We review whiskey. So most part of the time, if I'm buying a whiskey, it's for the show. So the most of the exceptions are I've got a couple Compass boxes, and if I really like a whiskey, I go out and I buy a second bottle of it or something. So I've got some sealed bottles along those lines that aren't open. So, but I don't know. I don't know how much I've spent over the years. Quite a bit. I would never admit it to my wife. I'd probably tell her it's like $500 or something.
$500.
Whatever. And here's what's funny, Danny. So I told him it's not me saying we got to do with the board game stuff. I think the audiences damn near overlap, because when he didn't tell me he was doing like a little tour of his shelf tour looks just like Tom's board game shelf tour. It could be identical. I was like, dude, I think he went and watched the board game show and ripped it off.
You mean Scott?
He's got them sectioned. He did a whole how I built my shelf. I'm like, board game, that's a board game video. How I built my shelf. I can turn his liquor shelf into a game shelf in one night. I could switch it.
I hate to say it, Scott, but you're a geek.
Yep. Oh, he knows that. He's a collector too. He likes collecting.
I got a few boxes of Star Wars collectible toys and stuff too.
Well, here's the best story. So my first marriage, which only lasted 2 years, and we'll let Scott jump in real quick. Do you want to give him your little version of it, and then I'll tell the rest of this?
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. You can go with it.
No, it's perfect. All right. So the first marriage, which didn't last long, we're getting all our wedding gifts. And of course I'm opening up. Oh, here's a thing of plates. That's awesome. That's good. Here's some tablecloths. Got the tablecloths coming in. Boom. I open up one. It's these limited 12-inch FAO Schwartz wedge and bigs, like dolls. I got them sitting around here somewhere, I thought. Boom. And I'm like, whoa. And people are all like, what the hell is that? He's like, I got that for you. some gal in the group yells out, well, that looks like it's just for him. He goes, you think them napkins were for him? Who do you I got him something he'll like. Everything else I'd gotten there, I was like, yeah, there's nothing better than a couple tablecloths and a toaster. Well, I could use the toaster.
I just poured myself, we just had this Canadian got our ham and worts, right? Yeah. And I'm drinking it. It's really nice, really nice. And I just poured myself some Scottish whiskey. And it just blows Canadian whiskey right out of the water. I mean, I just smelled that, and I got apples, I got almonds, and there I had what? I had horse shit, I had the Mounties, the sweat.
You know what I'm saying? Coming in to get their tax.
Can you shut up?
Oh. See, I don't know how you live with him. Get on him, girl. Get on him.
I've been trying, but obviously.
I know.
No, there's some good Canadian whiskeys for sure, but even in the States, we don't see them. The good ones we've had to have sent to us from. Yeah. Or we like to say they arranged for us to get this bottle. We don't want trouble at the border.
Arranged.
Hey, so you guys went to the Bunnahabhain distillery, right?
Huh?
Did you go to the top floor?
No.
No. Hold on a second. You didn't go to where you can. What's it called? The something Bunnahabhain Club. What's it called? $250 to get 250 pounds to get in.
Huh? No.
What? No, for sure you guys went there.
Oh, no. They kept that secret.
Really?
Yeah. We had a
The tour also didn't cost us anything though either that we did in the Warehouse 9 tasting.
we got the free
Warehouse 9. That's it. Warehouse 9.
Warehouse 9.
Yeah,
We
that's
didn't-
the top, isn't that the top floor, the attic?
Well, it's just the whole thing. We went in just on the floor on the ground level and had a tasting in there.
Weren't they knocking stuff down? They were knocking buildings down when we were there.
Some, yeah.
Okay, because they, if I'm not mistaken, they have a 250 pound, like British pounds, to have special tastings and all that. And yes, no, you guys.
We didn't
Wow.
get that.
I thought you guys were hot shots, man. What happened?
We had fun. We were good. I didn't even miss it until now. Thanks.
That must have been something, though. I'd really enjoy doing that.
It was a fun tour.
Like Chantal was telling me that she might rack up enough points next year so we can take any trip anywhere in the world.
Ooh.
And obviously, Italy is, you got to go to Italy, right?
Mm.
But I'd like to go to Scotland.
Mm.
Now,
It would be a nice trip.
when's, like, you guys were there when's? October, the fall season?
Mm-mm.
May.
Yeah,
In
we
May.
were there right before we got there. What, 2 weeks before the Fagio?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
pretty real close to it.
The fagioli. Is that like pasta fazool?
it's the Island Festival.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of unique bottles that they sell at that time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on Isla every year during it's right at the end of May. They have the Fagiel. It's called the Island Festival. Each distillery still get one day, or do they do 2 distilleries a day now?
Well, yeah, because they were adding new distilleries. Each one used to get one day, but yeah, now they're starting to double up a couple.
Yeah, but so like Monday would be Brooklotti, Tuesday would be Lagavulin, Wednesday would be Lafroig. Each distillery would get their day, and the crowds would go there for their special. They do special bottle releases and stuff like that. People would wait in line for.
Like how many people when you say the crowd?
Oh,
There's thousands go there now.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Gets pretty packed.
I see a comment there. Richie Z. Is Richie Z hitting on my Chantal?
Probably.
Yeah. What do you say?
Yeah, he says there's.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what he said?
He's talking about me.
Yeah,
Must be.
yeah. Get his name. Just get his name.
We know
I
Ricky.
gotta find it here. I can highlight it.
I swear.
He did say person. He said person. It could be you, Danny
Could be
boy.
anyone. It really could.
Yeah. If it's me, you got problems.
Mm.
Oh man. So here we are on the Scotch Test Dummies, man. What is this, Sunday night or something? Come on, what's the matter with you guys? Bloody hell. Scott, you look like you're falling asleep.
Ah,
Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah,
We're
you're
good.
good, man. What time is it in Wichita?
It's 9:43 right now.
yep.
Yeah. The same
What's your
time.
time? Are you at
10:40.
10?
Say what?
What's your time?
We're an hour ahead, so it's 10:44.
That's what I thought.
We're sacrificing our sleep to be here.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, again, for all the viewers, all of our intro music, our outro music, the brunchine theme, our 2 whiskey themes that come in. You even did the Yahoo-y, which is that the Yahoo-y thing that we do it leads into our bourbons and stuff.
He had a lot of fun doing that one.
And you know who's screaming Yahoo?
Who?
Grant Dalglish.
Really? Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just ripped him off. He said he was doing the Confederate cry, Yahoo! And I just ripped it off, and I said, man, this is it.
That's perfect. Yeah. So I'm forgetting the name of it. It's the March. No, the March of Lafroig. It's kind of the somber, sad tune that you did that I really, really like.
Yeah, I get inspired by killing birds and kittens, and I feel real bad, so I write stuff. That's how it works, man.
Well, I remembered I talked to you and mentioned a few things, and then something heartfelt, and then like I used it when I was doing the Advent calendar, and because I always would contemplate the year as well as the dram that I was drinking, so it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Just underlaid right through, and it's a quicker show. So yeah, it was perfect. There were people saying, "Wow, where's that music? Where'd you get that? What is that?" So
yeah, because as gregarious as I am and as beautiful as I am, I'm inside. I'm a ripped apart soul. I'm like Scott a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, look at it. Look at it. You know what he's doing? Scott, you know what's going on? You know why you're not happy tonight? You're not happy tonight because you're 50. Vanity, my friend, is going to be the downfall of you.
he's in good shape though. Look at them biceps. He's been working out. He's been walking. He'll send me pictures. He'll send me pictures of my locker in the gym, and it's like, and he'll be like, "You ain't seen this in a while."
It's all dusty.
Yeah, it's all dusty. The name tags wore out by the sun. He's like, "Yeah, it's rusted shut."
You guys ever gonna come up to Montreal? Because right now it's minus, in your weather, it's minus 22 Fahrenheit.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like if you're gonna write your name in the snow, you can't because it's gonna evaporate before it starts hitting the snow, man.
Goodness.
That's not the way to get us up there, Dan. I'm telling you.
We'll come up in August.
When are you guys coming up here? It's butt ass cold.
Yeah.
It's really freezing, man. It's freezing.
No, we talked about it. I'd really love to get up to Canada. So
Canada, eh? Canada's 5,000 miles big. Canada, actually 3,000 miles, 5Ks. So you want to go to Canada, eh?
I did hear though that 90% of Canadians live within 200 miles of the United States northern border.
Probably.
Yes, that's what I heard. Nobody wants to go too far. How far north in Saskatchewan do you want to live?
Well, yeah, we're at the 45th parallel. That's where we're at, and
I know you're not. I got a buddy in Regina, so he tells me how cold it gets in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it gets really cold there.
Absolutely.
Like it's cold here. And in the summer, it's sweltering. It's disgusting.
Really?
Oh, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Sweltering.
Ah, it's we were in the car once, and I think it was plus 30, man, Celsius.
What is that?
That's like you don't go outside.
That's like 80 degrees.
80 degrees.
80 degrees. That's like, It's like 110, 115. What are you saying, Scott?
Oh, is it? I don't know. I just did some rough math.
He's 50. He's 50. Give him a break. Don't quit picking on him. He's 50.
I thought it was like your money. There's less U.S. money it's cheaper. So like with the temperatures, it would be less.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No matter what you say in Celsius, we're going to say that's like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
That's 80.
And it gets really humid, man, like disgustingly humid. Ah,
sounds like you're catching the worst end both ways.
It's the best seasons are spring and fall, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Are they short?
Is something wrong with being short, man? No, Bart, you got an issue? You got an issue, Bart?
I'm just saying, is spring and fall short? We'll skip.
Is it
short?
short?
That's what happens here. It feels like here all we get is summer and winter because spring will slide through in about 3 weeks sometimes.
No, I mean winter's long. And summer, I find summer long because I'm a vampire. I can't stand the sun. I can't stand it. Fall is my mushroom weather. And I was telling someone yesterday, I said, it's funny how when I'm getting older, I'm enjoying going to the woods and picking mushrooms and looking at birds' nests and all that. I go, it was different when I was younger, going into the woods and doing mushrooms,
Oh,
But you guys don't know anything about mushrooms because you're cops.
That's right. Well, other than Scott likes to eat portobello mushrooms.
At Portobello.
Dang it, I missed the O.
I can tell you the harmful chemical in mushrooms is called psilocybin. It starts with a PS.
Ooh.
That's correct.
Yep.
He knows all that.
We're listening, Scott. Yeah, we got
ecstasy or MDMA is methylene methamphetamine.
Ooh, look at that.
Now I get methethylene. Now I'm even getting tongue tied.
He used to know all that.
well, I mean, aspirin is acetylsalicylic. So you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful. All right, now let's see. Dan, tell us. I know we're on a whiskey show, but why don't you tell everybody about No Enemies Here and where they can also find you on the Dice Tower and anywhere else? Maybe I don't know if your music is anywhere else, but why don't you give us those touchstones?
Well, the No Enemies Here is like it's a new show about war board games, so it's even more of a niche in a niche, because board games is a niche and then war games is a niche. I'm weird like that. So I do my Ted Baxter of Mary Tyler Moore. I enjoy doing that. And so I give the news of people doing the news on board games, playthroughs like Bart when he does bonding with board games. I feature Bart doing an unboxing, and that's on YouTube. And on the Dice Tower, I have a segment on Thursdays in Board Game Breakfast. I'm one of the
contributors.
Yeah, one of the contributors. There's got to be about 20, 30 contributors in 2 different board game breakfasts during the week. And that's where I can act really stupid and ridiculous, because my crowd is Eurogamers, and Eurogamers are people who do not play war games. So how do I bring people to listen to a guy talking about war games as you act real stupid? And so they're saying, look at that guy. That guy's real stupid. He's really funny. And hopefully one day it's going to stick that I'm doing a war board game and not just acting stupid.
Sure.
And that's it. And I mean, my music, I haven't been, I mean, I have a website, but I'm going to be taking it down. And my music usually is on videos like the Scotch Test Dummies and other contributors. I enjoy doing that very much. I get inspired from guys like Bart and Scott. I wish I could get more inspired by Scott, but as you can see, he's down in the dumps tonight. So, yeah, you can hear my say what, Bart?
You've done some great pieces for Stuka Joe.
Yeah, Stuka Joe's another a guy who does professional videos, I would think, and he's setting the bar quite high.
Oh yeah, he's out of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. So he was just he had a big long interview in a magazine, and he gave a little shout out to Danny Boy when he was getting interviewed for that. So
yeah, I'd love. I still haven't met Stuka Joe, man.
I know. Next time he wants me. Next time my wife goes to Puerto Rico, he wants me to come so I can run down to San Juan and hang out with him.
Well, yeah.
So didn't he retire? Is he fully retired?
No, he's not retired at all. No, I think he's got just like a couple of years left.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's an assistant U.S. attorney that works in San Juan and has had some huge cases. So he's pretty busy as well, but he's a great guy. His film
great guy. And his former wife who passed away, she was a judge, man.
Oh, see, I didn't.
You know, I mean, you better be on your toes when you get there, Sarge.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And he's 6'4" too, there, Sarge.
What?
Stuka Joe's 6'4".
Oh my God, he does not look that tall.
No, you thought all Puerto Ricans were short, man?
I did, yeah. Most of the ones I run into, they got all that Spaniard blood.
That's profiling there, big guy. You know, you don't want to meet me on the streets and give me a speeding ticket because I know my rights.
Oh my goodness! Look at this. Turned all militant.
I like you see Z's comment there, Bart.
I think Bart's turning 50. Dram will be Ardbeg 10. He's probably right. I can just stick with the core range, baby. The core range. I took some hits over picking the core range for my number 5 2019 World Whiskeys, but it was the best call ever. That damn Ardbeg core range. They put out their little committee release bottles every year, and they're good. I'm a sucker, and I like them.
We have this gentleman, Matthew Parks, Semper Fi, man, from 5546. He's a musician. What do you play, Matthew? Hey, I want to know what you play.
Let's see. 5546 musician.
Because I'm an honorary Marine. I was honoraried by Mo and Gimpy Gamer. Both Marines said I could be an honorary Marine.
That's right. Gimpy got wounded, right? And got medical discharge. Yeah.
Like seriously wounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went over an IED in his Humvee, and his. I guess you don't wear seatbelts in a Humvee, right?
No, you don't.
And I guess when the blast hit, his head hit the top of the Humvee, and I think it crushed his spine.
Damn. Yeah, there's not a lot of room. Those are real tight. I barely fit in those damn things.
Really? How would you fit in a Humvee, man?
Well, you pretty much sit straight up. So my knees were all over the dash. I mean, they're tight.
When you make a lot of money and you want to buy a Ferrari, forget it. You don't fit in a Ferrari.
No. I love the 63 split window Corvette. And there was a friend of my dad's had one. And I was thrilled. And I went over there and I would have needed goggles and my head would have had to stick out. It was terrible. I was like, God dang, I can't even fit in this thing. Terrible.
So you're more of a, where do you fit? Like, what do you drive, man?
An old 97 Dodge pickup truck.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Scott just drove by me yesterday. I go, didn't I just pass you? He said, yeah, you can't miss that old Dodge truck when it's coming your way.
There's only one other one there's 400,000 people in our city. And there's only one other white Dodge 1997. What's the small one?
Yeah, Dodge Dakota.
Yeah, extended cab, still running around.
Oh yeah. I just get waved.
I just came from the store buying some Ardbeg 10 for his birthday.
I just picked you up 2 bourbons for your birthday. It was bourbon birthday time is what that was.
When are you gonna buy me bourbon?
When you run out of your other stuff.
Yeah, but look at the collection these guys got. I want to be like those guys. I want to be like Scott.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be like.
Now we're hearing it. There it is.
And the reason why I want to be like you, Scott, because you're Italian, whether you like it or not, because your name is Bruno.
Yeah,
but it's German. It's German spelled.
And hold on. Why are there so many Germans in Kansas?
You know what? There were a bunch that came over because of the farmland.
Yep, that was my great grandparents settled in up by Kensington, Kansas. It was a big German town, German settlement for people coming across.
Because my great grandfather landed in Ellis Island when he was like 12. He didn't want to fight for the Kaiser in World War I, and then a German farmer in Iowa had to sponsor him and pay all his whatever. And a train ride, and then he had to work on the farm for 3 years for just room and board, but he did so good, then they hired him and helped him get a farm. So there was this huge area in Iowa that's all Germans.
Well, you guys, so I guess in World War II, you guys were interned, eh?
Yeah, hold on, bring it.
Got 2 of them do real quick. William Davilar, $5. Happy birthday, Scott. And Drew Bills, one of the Scotch 4 dummies, tuning in because you guys are dummies. That's right.
Speaking of music, Mr. Keyboard there.
Yep.
Dan, you would have loved it. We had a 5-year anniversary, and we were down in this old hotel that they'd refurbished down in Wichita. There was this grand piano in there, and it had a big sign on it that said, don't play the piano. But the night assistant manager starts playing it. Drew comes over. He's got Scotch 4 Dummies show. He's playing it. They're doing almost this like dueling piano thing. And then we got cousin Shane singing. It felt like it was the 1940s and we were at a USO club. It was unbelievable.
I would have loved to have been there.
God, it was fun. I mean, we had all these bottles. It was the bottles out on the just all over the place. Just people are sharing bottles. It was unbelievably cool. And then and the music. What did we play music for a couple hours?
They didn't throw you out.
It was that long, but several songs.
It was awesome.
They didn't get you off the piano. Like, get off the piano.
No, well, I didn't lay on the piano.
You know what I'm saying? Lay on the piano.
The assistant manager of the whole place was the one playing it. So she was the night manager. That's what was so cool.
Yeah.
Was she playing or was she singing?
No, she was playing. They were doing some dual thing where she was doing something and Drew's on the same, but he's playing down at the other end of the keyboard. I was like, wow, or not keyboard, but at the, I don't know, what do they call them, Dan? The keys. I don't know. So,
oh man,
it was awesome. See, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was like one of those magical moments. Literally, it felt like, pre-internet, pre-TV, when a bunch of folks get together and there's a piano and all of a sudden they're all singing songs and like taking over the bar. But we were in this big lobby. It was just awesome. People were coming in. They were just looking like, wow.
Yeah, I just realized we're just over our hour mark, so we better wrap it up.
Got it.
Bart will keep talking for a while there.
Yeah, I got all excited. That was one of those touchstone moments, though. That was a good moment.
Yeah, and Chantal just keeps yapping and yapping and yapping.
She's gonna backhand you. She's gonna come across. She's gonna clear a belt. She's gonna clear a belt out and just come pow.
Ow.
You can ask him about it tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Well, hey, thanks to everybody that tuned in, though, and again with us, Dan Pancaldi.
Yep.
And you're in Montreal, is that right?
We're at the suburbs of Montreal because I can't stand people anymore, so I don't want to see them.
You've seen Dan's name tied to our videos almost since the beginning. At the end, music composed by Dan Pancaldi.
That is, and so you've now met the man, you've met the legend.
That's right.
And you can watch, he does both some musical interludes and some hilarious game reviews at No Enemies Here. So go check him out there.
And guys, all the checks I wrote you for my music, I didn't get anything back.
You know what? We're still not making a dime. We're in the hole. We got to buy all this whiskey.
Quick cowbell.
Woo, Vegas Art.
Thank you, Vegas Art. Appreciate it.
Nice.
Thanks for having us on, man.
Dan and Chantel, both, thank you for joining us.
Chantel and Dan, cheers, and thank you very much for coming on the show.
Yep, and thanks to everybody that tuned in. Appreciate it.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Sláinte.
Dummies. Sweet, we're still live.